As cities across the nation remove offensive public monuments, it might be worth considering the removal of a statue standing in the very heart of Salem, Massachusetts. This is a life-size statue of Samantha Stevens from the TV show Bewitched. With her cheerful grin, animated gesture, and clean-cut attire, there is, of course, nothing aesthetically offensive about her. But when you consider the context in which she's placed, this whimsical statue suddenly becomes one of the most inappropriate sculptures in America. Salem, after all, is infamous for the witch trials of 1692, when 20 innocent people were executed for crimes they did not commit. It's hard to imagine anyone treating this dark past so lightly, and yet a pop culture witch flies atop a broomstick in the center of town, reminding all who visit that Salem cares more about tourist revenue than reverence for the dead. Samantha's creation began back in 2000, when TV Land established the Landmarks Initiative, an ambitious promotional campaign aimed at populating America with bronze statues commemorating TV sitcom characters. Florence may have David, Paris may have the Venus de Milo, but New York now has Ralph Cramden. Chicago has Bob Newhart, Raleigh has Andy and Opie, Milwaukee has the Fonz, and Honolulu, for some reason, has Elvis. TV Land's president Larry Jones claimed that these landmark statues recognize TV heritage and their place in historic cities in the U.S. But let's not be fooled. These statues were erected with one goal in mind: to get more people to watch reruns on their network. These statues are commercials, plain and simple. And if TV Land hoped that they would spark some free publicity, Samantha Stevens paid off big time. When the statue was proposed to the city in April of 2005, the concept made international headlines and was fiercely debated by Salemites at packed public hearings. Business owners felt it would draw more tourists into the city. Wiccans felt it would represent a positive portrayal of a witch. Historians felt it was turning tragedy into entertainment. Perhaps the opposition was best summed up by John Carr, who felt, quote, "It's like TV Land going to Auschwitz and proposing to erect a statue of Colonel Klink," a biting remark that became Time magazine's quote of the week. After a month-long debate, the Design Review Board unanimously voted to allow the statue. It was then voted on by the Salem Redevelopment Authority, which hashed out 5 key provisions with TV Land, the most interesting of which stated that if the city wants the statue moved after 10 years, the city and TV Land must agree on a new location. If they cannot find one, TV Land will pay to remove the statue. Food for thought. Photographs of the statue, which had already been designed and sculpted by Studio Ice in Brooklyn, were only shown to city officials and members of the press. The first time the public actually saw Samantha was when she was unveiled on June 15, 2005. A very calculated date considering that TV Land released Bewitched on DVD for the first time on June 21st, and the Bewitched movie, starring Nicole Kidman and Will Ferrell, premiered on June 26. The dedication was a huge spectacle and media frenzy. Surviving members of the cast flew in for the ceremony and were greeted with fans, proponents of the statue, and a vocal group of protesters, one of whom was arrested for disorderly conduct. As a sheet was pulled from the statue, another sheet was lowered from a facing window, this one reading the word shame. I would have to agree with that sentiment. No matter how fun the myth of witches may be, or how great the revenue, it should never be promoted alongside the grim reality of 1692. Imagine, for instance, if the hometown of mass murderer John Wayne Gacy, known as the Clown Killer, erected a statue of Bozo the Clown and rebranded itself as Clown City, USA. Surely the victims of murder deserve an eternal rest without being woken by a laugh track. Bewitched may have been an amusing show. Elizabeth Montgomery may have been a talented actress, but a statue of a family-friendly witch only trivializes the deaths of 20 people. Surely Salem has other abolitionists, architects, businessmen, inventors, poets, and mathematicians more worthy of public attention. Her presence in town is glaring proof of just how far the city is willing to embrace the commercialism of its history. Since Salem has forgot what lies at the root of Samantha, here are 20 reasons why some of us will never be bewitched.